oh my God, have you seen the move? Like, I'm so happy for crypto subscribers because, it was a little tough there for a while. I said, listen, the top 100 are going to move a lot higher because Bitcoin's going to go a lot higher. And we saw Bitcoin go from 80 to 90 to 100, 120,000, and we still didn't see that follow through. Now we're seeing a freaking follow through. I mean, have you seen where Ethereum was? I mean, past 7 days, it's on fire. Most of these names are in our portfolio, in our crypto portfolio. Ethereum is at 4,600. 4,600. And where do we recommend this, Daniel?
I don't have it in front of me.
38. I have it in front of us.
Oh.
That's a 32x gain. Why am I saying that for? This is why you need to own crypto in your portfolio. I'm not telling you to take 20, 30% of your portfolio and throw it in it. Take 2% in it. Because the gains that you could see in here, this happens often. Okay, you could say, well, Frank, I had NVIDIA. I had Palantir. Wasn't as big as these gains. But those are two, and it very rarely happens because companies IPO at so much higher prices and the valuations are insane when they come out. IPOs are usually liquidity events for insiders to sell some of their stock, and you don't really see the massive gains. You could have those 32x, right? It turns 5,000 into 160,000. That moves the needle for almost anyone. Okay, anyone is putting $5,000 into a position or putting like $3,000 to $5,000 in several of these positions. It's why you need to be in crypto. Again, I know it might be a little hard. We have another company we'll talk about tomorrow, which is, what is it called? Bullish, whatever. It's they own CoinDesk.
Oh, they IPO today?
Yeah, it's pricing now. It's much higher, doing great. But that's what you're going to see. A lot of these stocks are coming out, and now the laws are favorable. You have more transparency, a favorable SEC. In that portfolio, not only are you going to see just cryptos, you're going to see a lot more stocks because those are the names that are really going to do good because now you have regulation around it. You have money to pour in. Institutions can invest in it, right? Their fiduciary responsibilities to make sure everything's cool, and they couldn't invest in these names when the previous administration did not provide any framework, any laws, or anything. Now it's open season for the best companies, and there's a lot of good companies. Still shitty companies, shitty cryptos, a lot more gains ahead. I mean, in that portfolio that we have, Daniel, we have Bitcoin at 6,500. It's over 120, that's 17x gains. Chainlink was one of the most recent ones at $6. It's up tremendous, up over 300%, it's up 40% this week. This is why you have to have exposure to this. And it was tough February through like last month or the month before. We saw a lot of these names continue to get hit and a lot of the names in the portfolio were down. Now you've seen a lot of these names up 100%, 200%, 300%. I've been through these cycles before. And when you're in it and this much money is pouring into it, these names could go through the roof. That's why you need exposure to it. Seriously, you need exposure to some of it. If you need help with these investments, if you just want to buy them and get rid of, well, I don't want to research these things. That's what our crypto portfolio is for. If you're interested, give me a shout, frankcurzioresearch.com. I can provide a special price for you. But I mean, it's incredible to see some of these gains and what's going on, especially in Ethereum. Ethereum is through the roof. I made a lot of money in Ethereum. I bought it at like 170 and sold it at 1,200. It was a very big position. It allowed me to help buy my house. I wish I still owned it. My house has appreciated in value, but I have no problem with it. But holy cow. I mean, it moves a needle for a lot of people. And this is one of the sectors, Daniel, we talk about all the time where Wall Street got beat here. They got beat. They got their ass kicked. And Wall Street never loses. I've been around Wall Street forever. They never lose. They're going to win with all this shit coming out, with all these offerings and stuff like that for, whatever it is through crypto and these treasury companies and stuff like that. And the flavor of the week, they win during SPACs. They kick their ass, even though they're down 90%. Everyone's up hundreds of 1,000% because they own this stuff at $1, sold to you 30 and 20 and 10. And now these things, 90% of them are down more than 95% each. These SPACs from 20 and 21, they always win. This is one case with crypto where they didn't win. They were against it. They said, no, it's not going to work. They had the banks come out, lobby against it, all this shit over the past 3, 4, 5, 6 years. And you're looking at young investors own Bitcoin, owned Ethereum, owned a lot of this stuff and have absolutely killed it. And I just got one thing to say. Good for you. You fucking deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about the momentum and stuff, and we've talked about the stocks and, just fueling the momentum. It's hard not to be bullish. I don't want to get crazy bullish. As Frank said, you don't need to go all in on a certain item. However, you look at the constant buying from ETFs and now these crypto treasury companies, everything from the World Financial Token from the Trump family to Ethereum, Bitmine, Immersion Technologies. They need to change that name. BMNR is the Tom Lee.
Where is that right now? Where is it?
Is it Tom Lee? Why am I
Tom Lee? That's Tom Lee.
Yep. It's up another 8% today. It's back to 68.
Oh, wow. Is it 68? It was 40s, actually 30s.
No, it was in the 30s. Yeah. No, well, if it spiked to 160,
I think.
60 and then tanked. But yeah, then it went down and loaded sideways. But, that's how these things are going to trade. But there is just tremendous appetite, buying opportunity here. Ethereum's different, obviously, without the fixed supply. We've talked about that. But don't don't fight the momentum. If you're in these, enjoy it, ride these, understand what you own and why. But man, there's just between the legislation, the momentum, and the access to capital. And, like everything, not everything lasts forever. But what will be interesting is to see, I don't know if MicroStrategy's or Strategy's up today. Let me check that real quick. But you want to see when the capital markets start to at least slow down. When are you going to see something not be oversubscribed by pick whatever number sounds great, 500 million, a billion? Strategy's actually down 1% today. That's not terrible. The point is that you'll see separation or look for the separation between some of your typical old school companies. Not that the paradigm shift is happening, but there's such an appetite for all this amongst other stocks. We've talked about CEP will be 21 Capital. It's hard to be short this market, Frank. There's still a lot of naysayers out there, but that's okay. When you never admit on a timeline you're going to be wrong, that's an easy argument. It's a lazy one, but it's an easy one.
I'm looking at even like the small cap market and everything, what's going on right now with small caps. A lot of small caps are doing good because that filters into crypto as well, speculation. During like the past 2 days, the market, S&P 500 is up 1.2%. You know what the Russell's up?
Oh, well, I know yesterday the Russell went up 3%.
4.3%. That's a major move. And I know small caps, if you look, and I have it up on my screen here, let's go for the year. You look at S&P still outperforming by almost double. At 21% it's up. And this is for 1 year compared to 12%. If you go year to date, it's up 10%. The Russell's up only 4%. You could go any chart here. I'll go 5 years. The S&P's up 91%. The Russell's up 47%. Every single chart, every single time frame you could figure out. And I was like, wow, this is going to change because, and we've been pounding a thesis on this the last 6 months, saying small caps, they're in position. They're not going to get hit as tariffs as much because most of the operations are domestically already. They've had 2 shitty years to lower costs tremendously, focus on the divisions, redesign their companies, focus on has the highest margins, the biggest growth markets. And I've seen this with small caps. And I saw CEOs buying the crap out of small caps. People are wondering, well, the market's at all-time highs. It's mostly being led by the Mag 7 here, right? The rest of the companies, I think I saw a stat in earnings growth. If you're looking at the double-digit earnings growth, I think 90% is coming from the Mag 7 companies or the hyperscalers, right? So if you take the other 493 companies, I think you're seeing negative earnings growth from them, which is crazy. Small caps, they're well positioned for this. They've underperformed tremendously. You're seeing insider buying in them, and people wonder, like, where am I going to find ideas? We'll find a shitload of ideas on my newsletter. I see like a lot of great prospects. We're researching a lot of good ideas. We're seeing some nice gains and stuff. And again, it is risky. You'll see some of them get hit here and there. But man, overall, the portfolios where, when it comes to crypto, when it comes to small caps, even when it comes to our AI portfolios and where we are, our portfolios are doing very, very well. Even though we'll get hit on a stock here or there, most of these names are doing very, very well. We've had some very big winners. And I think small caps are going to continue to do very, very well. It's a great environment for them going forward, especially if I'm wrong and we're going to see a 50 basis point cut and then aggressive rate cuts by the Fed going forward. Small caps are definitely going to outperform large caps. And there's a lot of names that have just been left for dead that I think are going to provide great opportunities for investors.
If I'm half right about the path we are going down, where data is going to be constantly questioned because of who's in office and he's a polarizing figure, that's going to lead to a lot of volatility. But that volatility is going to be higher in asset prices like this, because if you get to that point, then every thesis behind crypto is going to be gaslighted because of the hedge against the dollar, the purchasing power of the dollar, general inflation, and the inflationary environment that we and the world operate in. I think you'll really know that when you see a day where Bitcoin goes up 5% and gold goes up 5%. So watch the day where Bitcoin and gold both break out. That's when you'll know we're at data doubters, Frank. Everybody's going to be a data doubter.